Believe it or not, sandwiched in between our European adventure is a home game in the Premier League against Fulham. It's a game that is vitally important after Newcastle stuffed Spurs earlier on and have moved above us in the Premier League. And as things stand, it's 2-2 at Dean Court with the Vitality. I've got it on. Bournemouth have a penalty to win things in the dying moments. They're just checking on my screen to see whether it's in the box or not. I'm going to keep you updated on that sense. But focusing on this game, so we're at a London derby back home at the London Stadium after a tough night over in Germany. A resolute performance undone in the final 10 minutes. Joining me to discuss tomorrow's game for the match preview is Phil. Phil, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. I hope you're well. I'm all well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Fulham beat us 5-0 in the return fixture, and I'm going to come on to some of David Moyes' comments about them in just a second. That in itself proves that they are no pushover. They are no mid-table side that we can take for granted in this situation. Comfortably beat us back at Craven Cottage. This is going to be a tough game. There's no doubt about that one.
Yeah, look, Fulham, they were when they go for it, they really go for it. You know, they've got some good players. They attack really well. Yeah, they always seem to be sort of bottom or top of the bottom half of the table. So it's hopefully we've learned our lesson from the previous fixture, because no one was expecting them to beat us 5-0. That was probably appalling. But it's an interesting one because it can go either way. We seem to have an all right record against them when we play them, whether it's at home or over at Craven Cottage. But as long as all our players are ready, you know, and up for it, especially the players who won't be playing next Thursday, take full advantage of that fact.
Believe it or not, the penalty at Dean Court has been overturned, but not for anything else, but it's been deemed outside of the box. So Bournemouth have a free kick right on the edge of the box. Probably the right decision from what I've seen. So at the moment, it remains Desmond 2-2 at Bournemouth. We could have really done with that, maintaining a penalty there. But yeah, Fulham are a funny old side that have comfortably sat for the last few seasons, mid-table, no real threat of relegation, no massive European charge for them. Under Marco Silva, they are steady, they do the job, and they finish mid-table every season, which is commendable for a club like Fulham. They come up, they have a brilliant performance and beat us 5-0, beat Spurs 3-0, then struggle in other games. They can either be brilliant or they can be rubbish, Phil, and that's just what you get from a mid-table side, I think.
Yeah, there's they've since they come back into the Premier League, they've made themselves a lot more steadier, like how they used to be all them years ago when they were in it for years before becoming a yo-yo team going up and down, up and down. They've got a decent blend of players, a lot of sort of good creativity amongst the team. And, you know, Marco Silva's done a really good job. And I know where we've sort of been linked with him to come in as a possible future manager. I know in the past or last season we tried to get Paulinho off them and a couple of their other players. But look, they're doing a decent job for where they are on the table, and you know they could push on in the next couple of years if they keep up their good work. But when it comes to playing us, we've got to be the better team because we know we are a better team than them.
Yeah, for sure. Last time out in the Premier League was a 1-0 defeat at home to Newcastle, a goal from Bruno Guimaraes, with 10 minutes to go. Now, looking down that starting lineup for Fulham, Pereira, Paulinho, Willian, Tom Cairney in midfield as you progress forward. You've got Rodrigo Muniz, who's been in a really rich vein of form this season. They've also got the firepower of Adama Traore there. Raul Jimenez was a really astute signing for them, I think, from Wolves in the summer, finished 2-2 at Bournemouth. That's not fantastic, but decent result for us. But look, the point I'm trying to make is they've got some decent players there, and that Muniz especially has been ripping up trees this season, has been fantastic for them, and they've just been steady again.
Yeah, he's coming to a bit of form at Muniz up front. I think there was a lot of pressure because they brought in Brozier on loan from Chelsea. So he thought he would have been the one who'd been like the Mitrovic replacement, but he ain't really. I don't know if he's injured or not, but he's not. I don't think he's even scored for them. And then Muniz has come in, and he's been the informed striker, so he's definitely going to be a threat that we're going to have to stop. And then them other players that you mentioned, they're all really good players. Willian, despite his age, he's still doing it. Tom Kenny, who's been there for years, he still does a good job for them week in, week out. Same with Halenia. So it's just trying to make sure we stop their main players, and then we can be a bit more comfortable. As long as we've got enough confidence to actually go for it and don't sit back, that's the important thing.
Yeah, I deliberately didn't have the comment section visible on my screen for the remaining stages at the Vitality because I knew it would be spoiled, and it was no pen in the end. Good evening, Mr. Terry Newsham. I hope you are well too all over. 7-goal thriller over at Wincanton today. Another non-league match day vlog is up on the channel, uploaded about 10 minutes ago. Go and check that one out. A couple of fantastic goals in there for the boys. We've got a vlog. We're up there at the London Stadium tomorrow. Busy week for us. There'll be a vlog tomorrow evening for this game, West Ham versus Fulham, and then there's a local derby over at Wincanton on Tuesday night where reports are suggesting that I'm going to have to buy Mike Hatcher a pint, which is rather disturbing. No, I'm only joking, Mike, if you're watching. Michael says, evening, just watched the worst penalty decision to give Man U a pen, finished 2. Absolutely, it was shocking. A shocking decision for me. Muniz worries me. Yeah, take the words out of my mouth, usual. Absolutely, really, really good player. Fulham are similar to us, never know what team is going to turn up exactly, and as I'm looking through their results, they're just indifferent. That's the word that I use to describe them. They lost to Newcastle. They lost to Nottingham Forest the week before that. They drew with Sheffield United. And then that's 3 disappointing results. The game before that, they pumped in form Spurs 3-0. It's just the nature of this Fulham side. Me and Sean and Josh discuss it week in, week out on the Roundup show. Fulham are a side you just don't know what's going to turn up. We received the best of them in the return fixture, and hopefully we don't see the best of them at the London Stadium tomorrow. But that's enough about Fulham. But before we carry on, Sharky, thanks for joining us as well. Let's discuss West Ham. In the end, disappointing the other night. Do you think our heads mindset is already trying to recover that 2-goal lead next Thursday in Leverkusen against Leverkusen, or do you think this game takes an equal slice of priority because of the situation in the league if we want to get back into a European competition next season, Phil?
I think in my head, I'd like to think that we got our heads focused on each game as they come, but I don't want them to be solely focused on Leverkusen if it means that we're dropping points against Fulham tomorrow, because if we do that, it's all well and good if we get a miracle result in the second leg. We still got to play one of the big Italian teams in the semis, and we could just filter, just fade out for the rest of the season and drop down. It can, we could easily finish down in 10th place or even 11th if it got really bad. So I think at the moment you've got to put all your focus in this Fulham game, try and return the favour and even get a 5-0 back on them as revenge. But it's important to get as many 3 points as we possibly can for the remaining games, because it's, what we got, 6 games left we got? All those teams it's 6. So yeah, everyone's catching up with us. So we've been very lucky to stay in 7th place for such a long time until yesterday, when or today when we now in 8th position. So we've got a sole focus on this game, take advantage of the players who won't be playing next Thursday, and then go hammer and tong in the reverse fixture with Leverkusen.
Yeah, for sure. Now, look, the equation is simple. Basically, if Man City win the Champions League, then 8th will get you Conference League. If they don't, then it's probably going to be normality of 7th is Conference League. Currently, we've got Newcastle, who have moved 2 points above us, equal games with that win over Spurs earlier. And they've got a 20-goal difference swing as well, so that you can basically count that as a point as well. So Newcastle have got some leverage on us, and again we look back to that game at St James's Park couple of weeks ago we horrifically surrendered that league. Man United have moved a point above us now due to that point they picked up on the road at Bournemouth this evening. Chelsea have 2 games in hand and they're 4 points off us. Brighton have no games in hand, are 4 points off us. Wolves are 4 points off us, sorry. Then you go on to Bournemouth, and then Fulham are at the sort of bottom of the chasing European pack. If you really want to put them in there, they are 9 points off West Ham, equal level of games. So that this is a game we have to target to win. If we're being totally honest, with our games, we've still got to play Liverpool at home, Man City away. We've still got some tough games embedded in there. And of course, what's going to take impact in this game, a factor is going to be we played away from home on Thursday night. Yes, we didn't touch the ball very much, but it was an incredibly tiring and resolute performance. We put everything into that on Thursday night. And the fact and reality is all you had to do was take one look at our bench on Thursday night to realise there isn't much rotation to deal with here. It's going to be pretty much the same tomorrow. They're going to have to do it again next Thursday. Fatigue is going to take its toll at some point here. And again, we've got to look back to letting those players go in January as a direct result of it. How do you think the team are going to cope going into this game, Phil, after what happened on Thursday night in terms of fitness more than anything else?
Yeah, I think you've said it there. There will probably be fatigue. So even though I'd like us to go all out attack, which ain't going to happen because we'll probably just defend and then try and play in the counter attack. So it's I'm not going to see. Don't expect too many changes, but the ones which will be, they're all going to be defensive minded. So that's always a worry. But like you said there, our bench isn't the biggest, and by the looks of it, it was the worst decision ever getting rid of the players that we did in January, just bringing in one who obviously probably ain't even going to play for us ever again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not good.
It's certainly not. And look, with the bare bones that we're down to at this stage, we're just gonna have to get on and deal with it. And Moyes has made his bed and he's got to lie in it. I don't want to see one comment or one excuse about fatigue over the next few weeks, because that's what Moyes chosen. It's by design, this setup here. He could have easily kept hold of those 2 players in January. He didn't. He let them go freely. And I hope that's not just going to be our Achilles heel and undo us in terms of, look, we're going to be without Bowen. That's the expectation. Obviously, you'd expect Paqueta and Emerson to be involved tomorrow because they can't play next Thursday. So they should put everything into this tomorrow. Alvarez wasn't there last Thursday, so you expect him to come back in. He is a massive, massive boost, Alvarez. And that was how pleasantly surprised I was in the first 83 minutes on Thursday. Feel how well we coped in that midfield and defensively without the glue of Edson Alvarez, who we've got to come back in to this game, which gives our midfield so much more fluidity and balance.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic signing for us. So, you definitely, even if you don't really notice him much when he's playing, you notice it when he's not playing. Like I said, he's that glue, and when he's gone, we're not as solid. Even though we try our very best, but he just makes it a lot more easier, makes it a lot more calmer when he's in the team. So, as long as when he does play, if he can look out, not get a yellow card, because he's always prone to that. If he can just be a bit more cleaner, which he probably won't do, but we need him there, just so it gives a bit more positivity.
Let's discuss the options for West Ham leading the line tomorrow. Now, I thought Mikel Antonio was absolutely excellent with what he had on Thursday night. He ran his socks off, and on a couple of occasions, he had that Jonathan Tah on toast. They look scared of him, to be totally honest, but we didn't exploit that enough, and that was our undoing, unfortunately. He's worked, he's played a lot of games, and he's had a lot of game time in the last few weeks, Mikel Antonio. I believe I'm inclined to think that potentially this is the game to drop Antonio down to the bench, rest Antonio, I should say, ahead of next Thursday, and give Danny Ings a go. Maybe put someone up there with him as well, because if we want the best out of Antonio on Thursday, he doesn't play tomorrow. Otherwise, on Thursday we're going to get an incredibly tired Antonio, as we will do tomorrow if he plays as well. I think probably for him and to manage Mikel Antonio, I can't see him starting tomorrow to get the best out of him. Phil, what do you think Moyes will do to lead the line?
I think he will start Antonio, but I do agree with you in resting him. and then putting Danny Ings up front just to give him some game time and some minutes and see what he can do, because he is, he can be effective. I know we've been saying that quite a lot, and it's not really happened, but it's games like this where he'd be really good in. And Antonio, since he's come back from his injury, it's been good to have that, that power that he does have. Even if he doesn't score that many goals now, he's still that threat all round. So you need him fully fit for Thursday, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think, I mean, what Moyes did last weekend away to Wolves was arrested Mikel Antonio and makeshiftly put Bowen up front, which we believe isn't going to be an option tomorrow because of the injury to Jared Bowen. So maybe Ings is the next best thing in there, because Moyes has admitted about how we've got to manage Mikel Antonio's game time, and whether, to be fair, I'm saying that we were really poor in that first half and Mikel Antonio came on and changed the game at Wolves. So it's finding that balance of getting it right up front and being influential, and also managing Mikel Antonio simultaneously as well. Sharky says, I'm a bit sunburnt. Well, I know, a bit of sun we've had today, hasn't it? Fantastic. Fantastic. Done some gardening. It's looking pucker, as you do. Very, very modest of you, Sharky, as you do say so yourself. Very good. Usual says, I see that little North London club are turning on the manager after getting beaten 4-0 today. To be honest, in any other scenario, I'd enjoy it and laugh, but it didn't do us too many favours, to be totally honest. We could have rather Spurs pumping them, which seems really bizarre to say, but it is still mildly amusing. That's the sort of consolation prize for us to laugh at them, because that was mildly amusing. This game takes priority, in my opinion. We need to qualify via the league to get Europe next season. I don't disagree with that at all, to be totally honest. We need, this is the most logical option if we want to get back into Europe next season. And with our final 6 games, this is a game at home that we should be targeting to pick up all 3 points, Phil.
Yep, definitely. I mean, after Fulham, we've got Crystal Palace next, I think. So they're both sort of similar teams, really. So it's really important to get 6 points out of the next 2 games, because once Liverpool show up, and then we've still got Chelsea to play, which is going to be a really big one. That'd be like a European 6-pointer on its own.
Massively, yeah.
So,
to be fair, you mentioned Liverpool there. West Ham reject Gianluca Scamacca put them to the sword the other night in a 3-0 victory. Maybe that won't be as difficult as one would perceive. But no, 100%, I'll take your point. These 2 games here, the game against Luton, 3 huge games. Of course, that Chelsea one in terms of the league position is a 6-pointer for those European spots. We could do with Everton doing us a favour Monday night. But to be fair, the thing is with Chelsea, they've got 2 games in hand and there's 4 points off of us. Nothing's ever guaranteed with Chelsea, because against Burnley, Sheffield United in the last month, they've not won one of them. They drew both games. So look, nothing's ever a given with this Chelsea side. So it's one to keep an eye on. They put out results and beat Man United with 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, but then failed to beat Burnley and Sheffield United. It's going to go down to the wire either way. And of course, who knows whether 7th or 8th is going to get you Europe or not. That adds to it all. Absolutely. Spuds result was so sweet. I'm room sharing with a Spuds fan for 2 nights on a golf tour this week. I'm sure you would enjoy that, Terry. Absolutely. Stepdad taxi service. You do what you're told, Terry. Don't you do what you're told? A member for 26 months. Sharky. Nice. 2 big home games coming up exactly inside the space of a week. 26-month member, Sharky, you legend. Thank you very much indeed, as was. And you've also gifted a membership as well. Sharky, thank you very much for that. I fancy it's Ings, in my opinion, or maybe Antonio for an hour and have a clear plan to bring Ings on with maybe 30 or 35 minutes to go. Looking ahead to 30, that could be an option, Phil.
Maybe. I remember last year, I think it was when we played Fulham again, he actually put Antonio and Ings starting up front together as a partnership. And I think that was the only other time we see him as a partnership together up front. So maybe you could even try that. But as long as, if Antonio does start, I don't expect him to do the full 90. So it's depending how the game's going. 60 minutes is probably the limit, I'd say.
Yeah. If we want to get the best out of him on Thursday, for sure, and run those defenders ragged like he did do on a couple of occasions on Thursday night. Just backtracking to the game at the Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth fans at the end chanted, "You only check when it's Bournemouth," in terms of VAR. Some very unhappy Bournemouth fans are leaving the stadium there, and well, you've got to sympathise with them, haven't you? And of course, it directly impacts us, and it's a frustrating result with yet more VAR controversy in the Premier League this weekend. It could only be 36 days, isn't it? It's not like you're counting down, like, is it? Of Moyes ball. Tim is in Brazil at the moment, scouting, absolutely. Of course, we will cross that bridge when we most certainly will come to it. Anyone remember Mubama? I'd like to. Oh, dear me. Tomorrow, in a more serious and pressing time, is the DT38 Day Awareness Day tomorrow at the London Stadium. We spoke to Tracy on the show last night, who discussed all of the things that will be going on tomorrow. If you buy a Matchday programme, have a little look. There's a big write-up about DT38 in there. It's a huge day for the charity, so if you can support by donating or spreading the word, tomorrow is the most important day for them in terms of West Ham. It's a DT38 Awareness Day, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for information regarding that at the London Stadium tomorrow. Our resident Spurs fan is here. You West Ham live, marvellous. Come on, I tell you what, not a good day for you, Bowlesy. Not a good day at all. Lee, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Michael, 3-0 to the massive club. I hope so. Bit of revenge would be in order. A clean sheet is never something that's guaranteed with West Ham, and I just hope, who knows what West Ham could turn up, who knows what Fulham could turn up. This is an incredibly difficult game to predict, so I'm going to get you to do just that, Phil, a prediction.
Right, well, there's definitely going to be goals in it for sure. Yeah. I know that for a fact. Definitely from both sides, because I can't even remember the last time we had a clean sheet in the league. But I do feel confident, so I'm going to go for 3-1 to West Ham.
Yeah, I like that. I think, was it 2 or 3-1 at the London Stadium last season? Scamacca scored quite a good goal, actually, in that game. 3-1, I think it was, in this game at the London Stadium last season. Yeah. Listen, I think they're a different kettle of fish away from home than what they're at home. Fulham, they massively benefit from playing at Craven Cottage, and when they come away from that, they do struggle. And just looking through some of their results, it reinforces that fact. They struggle away from home. It took a really good goal from Muniz to get a point at Sheffield United just a couple of months ago. I'm just going to try and backtrack and see their last win away from home. It was at Old Trafford in the middle of February, coincidentally, was Fulham's last win away from the Cottage. So look, we've got to try and exploit that once again. They prefer to play at home, as do we all, but we need to use that advantage. Let's get the crowd up and really consolidate a really decent performance in this game. That's what's needed. Get the job done and put our sights set on the mammoth task ahead of us on Thursday against Bayer Leverkusen. Phil, provide us with your final thoughts for this game.
Big game. It's East versus West London derby. The Bobby Moore derby, you could even say. So, yeah, look, let's go out there. We don't want to be losing 5-0 again to them. So we got to get some revenge. Let's go for a big result. And then let's focus on, like you say, the mammoth gargantuan task of overcoming the most informed team in all of Europe.
Absolutely. I love the use of gargantuan there. A fantastic utilisation of vocabulary, Phil. Very good indeed. Right, I'll get to my prediction in just a second. I haven't thought about it yet. So 2-1. Lots of 2-1s coming in. 2-0 from Sharky. Usual reckons it's going to be a defeat. Last time we lost at home to Fulham was the Cup. Was it? Did we play Fulham in the Cup? I don't know.
Remember. I
thought it was in the sun. We were there. 3-1. Scamacca did this little flick thing over the keeper and scored.
I remember that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Andy's joining us. Thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Hopefully, Dancing Dave will boogie his way out of West Ham once the season is over. I think that is best for all parties. My prediction for this one, there's going to be goals both sides. We never keep a clean sheet, and the days of me trying to predict us to keep a clean sheet are long gone, unfortunately. Obvious prediction, but I'm going to deviate from that. Phil says 3-1. I'm going to say 3-2 to West Ham. There's goals in this. We never keep a clean sheet. Hopefully Kudus and whoever's up there with him can be firing. And yeah, Let's hope so. 3-2 victory. They're going to make it tough for us, but let's just get our quality through and shine just that little bit more. And then our sights are set on Thursday night. Phil, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
Cheers, Jake. You too.
We will be making our way up, as I said earlier, to the London Stadium tomorrow, hopefully to see a West Ham win. So there'll be maybe a road trip. I don't know. I ain't decided yet. A road trip potentially, and a match day vlog alongside that a little bit later on tomorrow as well. Let's hope the travelling is worth it once again. But the football just gets in the way of a good day, a good day. Phil, are you working for the rest of the weekend? Have you got tomorrow off?
I'm off. I've been off since Thursday. I go back on Wednesday morning.
Oh, nice few days off, nearly a week then. Very good, Phil.
I'll be in attendance next week at the second leg as well, which will be good.
Good stuff. Hopefully you can give them a cheer from me, and hopefully we can do the unthinkable on Thursday. So that should be good. You can beat the Fulham, says David Bolsey. I admire your confidence. I hope so. Let's hope so. In the right, okay, I see. The Bobby Moore derby, or maybe the John Pansel derby.
Take your pick of players who play for both teams.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Diop derby if you want to go that far.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Dear. Wonder whether he'll play tomorrow. It's a Diop. Who knows? Right, 3-2 prediction from me. We're going to win. It's going to be narrow. It's going to be tight. It's not going to be fantastic, but you can guarantee goals, that's for sure. If you've enjoyed this match preview, drop a like on it and subscribe to West Ham Official if you're new. From me and Phil, come on, you Irons. And we will see you soon right here on West Ham Official. See, Phil's balanced his phone perfectly so we can do the Irons. I love the precision of it. Thanks for all of you watching in the chat. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Come on, you Irons. Do the job for West Ham. Thanks, Phil. Cheers, mate.